My hair is stuck to my earring. Good afternoon, how are you? If you've just found my channel, welcome. My name is Eleanna, I'm a makeup artist here in Sydney, and I've come to YouTube to teach what I know about makeup. Lately I've been sort of flirting with the idea of taking makeup back to its basics, the fundamentals, the face shape, the undertones, color theory, and all that stuff. And I figured, may as well start today. I didn't figure may as well start today. I went back to my parents' house, got my notes from college. I didn't write a script for this video because I decided that sitting on my ass and doing nothing would be a very productive use of my time. So we're going to wing this one today, but we are going to talk about face shapes. Because I think getting to know your face shape allows you to then progress into things like contouring, blushing, highlighting, etc. This little series, I want to start at the fundamentals of makeup, and I want to take it to body painting, prosthetics, special effects, and all of that stuff, because that's the reason I actually started learning about makeup. So, I'm going to throw up some photos of different face shapes and kind of discuss the key points on what to look for when looking for your face shape, because there are some face shapes that I've even seen that confuse me to a point, because it's like, sometimes a heart-shaped face will have more of a jawline. Does that make it a square shape, or does something else determine the square? You know? And depending on how long this runs, I might go into some contouring techniques for those face shapes now, or I might not and do that next time. Alright. So, to determine a face shape, tile the hair back, take off any kind of glasses, clean face without any makeup, obviously, and to use a rule of threes, or three sectioning, I think it was called, where you divide the face section by section, section by section. In my case, I have a diamond head, which means this section in here is the widest point that I have, and in these three sections, this is the longest point that I have, the narrowest, which makes this shape diamond. I have a bit of a jawline, but not enough for the bottom part to be square or oblong, right? And based on the makeup that I do, I can hide that jawline altogether and have that more defined angular look. So if you don't know the basic head shapes, you've got oval. I'll try and put photos up as well as I'm going through these. Oval, round or circle, square, rectangle or oblong, pear, diamond, and heart. Most people might not have one solid shape. You might have like a heart on the top and a square jaw, for instance, or a diamond bottom and a circular top, making you not triangle, making you not diamond, and making you not circle. So it is important to determine these factors of your face. Why? Because what if you're contouring and highlighting for a face shape that isn't suited to your features, right? So I'm not going to say my whole life, 15, 16 years old on, I wasn't contouring. I wasn't contouring and I wasn't highlighting, mainly because we didn't know. We didn't know any better. It was that emo kid, scene kid face. You wanted a very clean slate, so very plain makeup, no definitions, no nothing, and you wanted the eyes to be big and bold and raccoon-like. Now, before I went to college, I wasn't contouring when I was in uni, I wasn't contouring because I have cheekbones naturally. And what I had always read online and what I was learning was you want an oval head, right? You want the pristine, perfect, in your rule of threes, everything to be symmetrical. That was what I was reading online, and I was like, oh damn, I don't have an oval head, that sucks. No contouring for me, look as flat as possible. And then in college, when we were learning contouring for oval heads, they were teaching us define the cheekbones, define the forehead, define the jawline. Which means that if you have an oval head, you're also not contouring for an oval head. You are contouring for a diamond head, right? And it was really confusing. Now, just because it's written like that here, by no means does that mean if you're not doing it the way it's written, you don't look good. If you like what you're doing, you look great. So, keep that in mind. If I try and contour my face like a circle head, right? Like if I had a circle face and I tried to bring definition out of my circle face, I, with a diamond head, would look very masculine, if that makes sense. I would have very harsh lines trying to break up the circle if I wanted to have more defined angles and more, you know what I mean? But as somebody who doesn't have a circle head, that wouldn't be how I contour. That wouldn't be how I try to define my face. And so I would look very angry and very wild with the features I already have. Does that make sense? So what I want to try and do is explain to you what defines these face shapes. So because my notes are down here and I can't see, I'm going to look like a librarian for the next however long. So with a round head, depending on what you want, you might not want to define your cheekbones, right? You might want to define the apples of your cheeks because the apples on your cheeks are going to be more prominent than somebody with more of a square, oblong shaped head, right? That's completely up to you. And your jaw would be rounded as well, giving you softer features. Again, completely up to you whether or not you choose to define that or not. So an oval head, very, very symmetrical in the sense that your forehead, your cheekbones, the sides of your face, your jawline, your chin and your forehead, all very even. And it's longer, right? A circle head, still kind of even. This side of your face would be more rounded and it would be shorter than the oval. Next we have, I'm pretty sure it's square. Yeah. A square head is more angular. So it's still shorter and wider, but you do have that defined jaw, and your forehead as well, up here in the wider sections, will give you a more defined hairline. With this head shape also, you may not have very defined cheekbones. So this is one of the head shapes where if you are contouring cheekbones in, you'll go in with a darker contour and a lighter bronzer and then a blush to really define that sort of cheekbone thing. You will have a more dominant jaw and it will be your most dominant feature. With a rectangle or an oblong shaped face, it's similar to the square shape but longer. The only difference is that with a square shape, because it is shorter, the features are more kind of centric to the face. With an oblong or a rectangle face, your eyes could be higher or your chin could be larger. Like it goes either way. But it will be either up here or down here that you have more space, right? Your jaw is still going to be more defined and your hairline will still be kind of pulled back to give this sort of shape here, right? And just like the square face, cheekbones aren't the dominant feature, right? So it's similar dominant features, it's just a longer face, essentially. With the pear-shaped head, you'll find that you have a more narrow forehead and a wider set jaw area. Because if you had a square or an oblong, the top part would be as wide as the bottom. Not in this case. This case, the top part is narrow and rounder, the bottom part is wider, and that's your dominant feature. And so if you want to bring in that jawline, that's when you kind of define and shadow and give that angle that you want to have. You don't have to. Again, that's just one of the tricks on how to get that look if you want that look. With the square-shaped heads as well, it's written like if you don't want that openness, that's where you'll contour. So I'll go into more of that maybe in a different video because there's a lot to it. There's more than one way to contour and highlight and all of that. There are more ways to define your features than just the standard, you know what I mean? Makeup isn't just one standard. You can do whatever you want. The next shaped face we have is the diamond, which is mine. I have glasses too, so that probably doesn't help. A diamond face is very angular. My cheekbones are the widest part of my head. I do have a bit of a jawline, but it's in. It's not out as far as my cheekbones are, or else it'd be out here. And my chin comes down into a point. So does my forehead. Right? So very, very typical diamond head shape. Another thing about the diamond head shape is you've got very sharp features. And I don't want to look too masculine. Nothing wrong with it, it's just that because I'm short and my body isn't masculine, it feels weird that my face kind of feels that way. So I always try to soften up those features as much as I can. Like I'll bring my bronzer up and around into my blush as opposed to straight down to make my lips look more full. You know, I won't do that because to me that feels too angular and I try to avoid that if I can. Nothing wrong with it, doesn't look bad, it's just on me. For now, at least, I prefer not. That might change. Probably will change. I always change how I look. But if you do want that more softer look, that's when those different contouring techniques come in handy. Like, I use it to kind of soften up my jaw a little bit. Because if I don't, I have a bigger jaw. Wow, they don't have triangle head here. Triangle is another shape. Where is it? Alright, moving on. The heart shape This face shape is the one that looks the best with pixie haircuts. It's cute. With a heart shape, it's typically in the hairline. If your hairline comes down to a point like this, the top half of your head at least is a heart shape. The bottom half, pointy chins. With this face shape, I find a lot of people tend to put a lot of blush on the cheeks. It's a sweet face shape. How do I put it? Tinkerbell has a heart-shaped face. She just has a fringe and you can't really see it. The way to tell if you have a heart-shaped face, because you might be stuck with, well, am I diamond? Am I circle? If you have a heart-shaped face, it's usually in the hairline. So it's usually, see how my hairline just is naturally this way? With a heart-shaped head, the hairline comes down, so I'm trying to see in the monitor, the hairline comes down into a point and goes out. That heart shape is very visible on the top part of your face, and your chin is pointy. Some heart-shaped faces are longer than others, but it will be that. That is the defining factor, and you will have a pointier chin. So even if you've got rounded cheeks, your chin will be pointy. That defines the heart-shaped face. Now, there's one that isn't here. It's the triangle shape. I don't know why it's not here. Triangle-shaped face is much like the square and the oblong, where up here is wide. Your face goes straight down. You don't have much of a jaw, but you do have, I want to say, defined cheekbones, but it also flows with the shape of your face. Does that make sense? The eyebrows are usually set higher as well, and it feels like everything is pointing to the center of the face. Your chin is sharp, your forehead's wide and sharp, your cheekbones are sharp, everything's sharp. It is a triangle-shaped face. Most people will not just have one solid shape. I have one solid shape and I thought I had two different shapes happening. Most people have two different shapes happening. Look, take it with a grain of salt because everyone is different. Not everyone wants to look the same. Not everyone should have to look the same. And not every face shape is the same with these guidelines, right? So take a look at yourself. Tie your hair back, take off whatever glasses you have, take off whatever makeup you have, take a look at yourself. What is the top half of your face showing you? What is the bottom half of your face showing you? Are your features higher or are they lower? Take photos, take selfies, direct on, show yourself what you look like without looking in the mirror with makeup on and whatnot, and decide for yourself. How do I want to contour? How do I want to highlight? What do I want to bring out? What do I like about my face? Let's bring that out. It's not about hiding what you don't like as much as it is bringing out what you do like. I don't like my lips. I think they're too small for my face. So instead of focusing my attention on my lips, I'll bring out my eyes. I'll do my eyebrows darker. I'll bring out my cheekbones. These are features that I do like. You know what I mean? Bring out the features that you enjoy about your face. See what changes. Because you'll change the way that you see yourself based on what you enjoy bringing out, if that makes sense. Alright, I'm taking this off because it's hot again. Again, depending on what you like, if you like those softer features, maybe you don't need to contour. Maybe you just work with blush and highlight. You know what I mean? You don't need, I probably should have said this first, you don't need a whole lot of contour. You only need enough in that little dip, and as you blend it, it does its job. You don't need a whole lot of product for contouring. Contouring and highlighting and blushing, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say all three. You don't need a lot to get the look that you want. Of course, like, that dramatic glam look is in. It's always fun to do. So yeah, we put a lot of stuff on. We look, very refined, very good. But if you want to look that good still when you go out in the middle of the day, when you're going to a brunch, when you're going to work, you can do it, just you don't need that much product. Very, very small things. You're defining features you already have. Remember, you have cheekbones, you have a chin, you have a forehead, you have these features. You don't need to put them on like you're applying face paint to go to work. You have them, they're there, they're all with you. You bring them out with little subtle changes. And even if you don't like wearing a lot of makeup, you still have these features. So if you don't like wearing a lot of makeup and you still want to have that cheekbone, or you still want to have that chin, or you want your forehead to look a little, wider and stuff to get the hair out of your face, you can do that with very little product. If you know where to apply it, and if you know how to blend it, what kind of products work best with you, Problem solved. You don't need all of that shit. Play around with your features. Play around with what you have. Learn your face. Bring out your own features is what I'm trying to get at. That's the point of this. Everyone is beautiful. Let's learn that, okay? Once you start figuring out what you like about your face, makeup becomes very easy. So, that'll be all from me today, Professor L. I hope you stick around, because there's a lot more to talk about. But this has been fun. Have a good evening. Goodbye from me. My hair does not look as bad in person as it does in camera. I can't believe I left my water bottle. Yeah, this would have been a lot easier if I had a script.